Hey guys, I haven't made a video in a while and I've been getting some comments and things, so I thought I would go ahead and just touch base with you guys and let you guys know what's going on. We're still kicking. Been super busy trying to make money in several other ways, but I'll talk to you guys about that in a minute. This is that same rent house that was all trashed up. I've ripped the carpets out. Got paint supplies and all that. So I've went through and painted all the ceilings. So all the ceilings are done. And I painted these walls last night. As you can see, you know, we just paint over just about all of it. And it is a rent house after all. I went through and painted all the door and window trims and the mop boards down at the bottom. So now I pretty much just got to go around and cut it in up to the ceiling. And then I still have to, we left these carpets in because they're not too awful bad. Like I said, I've done all the ceilings, but I still have to go through and do the walls and windows and everything in here. Here's what the windows look like beforehand. That one's not too bad. That one's not too bad, but anyway. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, you know, plaster over it and sand it down a little bit and move on. Paint over it. Like right there, you can still kind of see that spot, but it's painted over, so it's good enough. But they really worked over some holes in the walls in this house, but we'll just patch them up and paint over them. So anyway, I thought I would talk to you guys a little bit while I do a little bit of painting. Alrighty, well, I guess it's about time to get started. Sorry if the audio is a little bit weird or whatever. There's a heater going and it's pretty echoey in here, so. But the way I paint stuff, cut stuff in like this, take a McDonald's cup and just cut it down and put my paint in there because it fits in the little cup holder thing in the top of this ladder. And it's easier to carry around than a tray. Then I keep a damp rag in case I touch the ceiling or get it somewhere where I don't want it. So it's kind of a tedious job, but somebody's got to do it. Well, in case y'all are wondering about what we've been up to, we've been selling stuff like crazy. So far we've been able to come up with all the money that we need to pay what we need to pay. And as most of you know anyway, we not only live in Missouri where the cost of living is pretty low anyway, but we also don't have things like cell phones and stuff like that. So, and we don't owe anybody any money. So our monthly bills are only about $700. So all we have to do is come up with $700 a month. Which, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, when you're just kind of doing stuff on your own without a clear goal, you know, it's not like we own a small business or anything. You know, we just do all kinds of different random things to make a few bucks here and there. So it, you know, it is quite a bit to come up with, but it's manageable. And what I'm going to start doing is, as a lot of you know, I really like to build computers. So what I've done is I've sold a lot of extra stuff, and racked up about $1,000 of extra money. And what I'm doing is I'm going to build high-performance gaming and video editing computers and sell them on eBay. Or at least I'm going to try to. And if it doesn't sell, then I just got an awesome new computer. But I'm probably going to start a new channel where I build these, you know, awesome computers. And I know not all of you will be into that, and that's fine. You know, if you don't like to watch that stuff, don't. But I know some of you really enjoyed watching the other computer build videos, so maybe that's something that that I'll do and you guys can check out. As far as what's going on out there at the property, all of that stuff is pretty much on hold for now. When that income hit kind of took us by surprise, it forced us to reprioritize and pull our resources back to where we currently live. And so for now, the priority is just paying our bills. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just leave my channel up because it is still making money each month. It's doing pretty much just as well now as what it was when I was uploading videos every, you know, 2 days or something like that, or every day. So I'm not going to take it down or anything. I'll just let it keep plugging away as long as it'll go. And then maybe at some point I can come back to it. But like I said, for now, I'm going to start building computers and selling them if they'll sell. I know that a lot of people on eBay are selling them, but what they're doing is they're taking orders. They don't have what they need on hand, and they'll charge people the full amount for the computer and everything and tell them it'll take 5 days for testing. It doesn't take 5 days for testing. What they're doing is they'll take the money, then they'll order all the parts and build it in 1 day and test it the same day and ship it out the next. So, you know, 3 days for shipping, then a day for building and testing, and then the next day shipping it out. But I'm not going to work that way. The way I'm doing it is I've got all the products, you know, all the parts now. I will build the computer completely, test it and everything like that. Then I will put that actual specific computer on eBay and sell it that way. That way I can ship, you know, the very next day after payment. And people don't have to wait a week and a half or, you know, 2 weeks to get their new computer that they paid for. And I wouldn't want to do it the way they're doing it anyway, because what happens if, you know, Newegg or something like that runs out of the part that they usually use? You know, then they're out of stock and they don't have the part on hand, so then they have to substitute it. And then you're not getting what, you know, what you paid for. You're getting something different. And they're using all kinds of ridiculous cheap parts, like cheap power supplies and all kinds of stuff like that. I'm using name brand, top of the line parts for every part of the build. I mean, my cost in the computer is going to be, you know, after shipping and buying a Windows product key and all that to put on it, I'll have over $1,000 into the computer. But I'll sell it for, say, you know, probably about $12.50 or something like that. So I'm only making, you know, 100 or 150 bucks each time that I would sell one of these computers. But it's something that I really enjoy doing. I'm good at it. And, you know the old saying, if you don't love it, don't do it. I'll never, never, never work for another person. I'll always do my own thing. I have worked for other people before. You know, I used to drive a truck and I made, you know, $55,000 a year. Which might not sound like a lot, but let me tell you, if you live in southern Missouri and make $55,000 a year, you're living pretty darn good. But I'd rather do this and scrape and scrounge and stuff like that rather than answer to anybody, you know. It might just be my stubbornness or, you know, my problem with authority or whatever you want to call it, but I'll never bow to another person ever. You know, I'd rather live on the street than go and get a normal job. And it's not because I'm lazy, you know, I work my butt off, but I do it for myself and my family, not for some other person. Because no matter how much money you get paid at a normal job, that employer is making more money off of you than what you're making off of your own labor. You know, it's your labor, but somebody else is making money off of it. Because no matter what they pay you, you know, they're not going to pay you for your labor and then not receive, you know, any profit from it whatsoever. So let's say your labor is producing $30 an hour, but you're only getting paid 20 or 22 or something like that. You know, if your labor is producing $15 an hour, you're only getting 10 or 12. You know, if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be getting it, but anyway. So I'd rather do my own thing and receive 100% of the profit from my own personal labor. But that's my standpoint on it. You know, I don't live somewhere that's real expensive like, you know, Connecticut or California or Florida or, you know, even Pennsylvania, places like that. I wouldn't live there. You know, because you have to get a normal job if you live in a place like that to be able to afford it, or have an actual business where you do a specific service. But around here, you know, like I said, our whole monthly bills are only $700. I mean, you could probably like walk around Walmart and pick up change and come up with 20 or 30 bucks a day. Like, I mean, it's not that hard to come up with. I mean, it is difficult, but it's not overly difficult, you know. So, well, anyway, that's kind of what we've been up to. And I'll let you guys know if or when I start a new channel and build this first computer. I already have most of the parts for the computer. I just am waiting on 2 or 3 other parts to come in. It's going to be awesome. It's going to have an 8-core AMD processor, FX8350. So it's 8-core processor, 16 gigs of 1866 megahertz RAM. It's going to have a 120 gig SSD for the boot drive and a 1 terabyte hard drive for mass storage. It's going to have a GTX 960 4 gig model. So it'll be able to play any game you throw at it on 1080p at high settings. I mean, it's just going to be awesome. And for video editing, it's just going to be awesome. With that 8-core processor and 16 gigs of the high-speed memory, man, it's going to, you know, I edit videos on my machine and it's got an APU in it and 8 gigs of RAM. And it stutters and all kinds of stuff when I'm trying to skim through the video and all that kind of stuff, and it renders super slow. But with that 8-core, it's going to be butter for somebody. You know, I'm not getting one of them until I make enough money to be able to build one and keep one, which will be, you know, 6 or 8 months. But anyway, that's what I've got going on, so I'm going to give that a try because I really enjoy doing it. And I just see all these other people on eBay doing it, and their cabling is not as good as what I do, and, you know, their parts are crap. they're selling the same computer basically that I'm building with a not as good of a graphics card for like $1,100. And they're using, you know, crappy power supplies, no name memory, you know, crap like that. I'm using all top of the line stuff, and still I'm only charging $100 more than them. So maybe they require more profit than I do. I don't know. I figure if I make 100 or 150 bucks on each computer, I mean, it's fun to build. You know, if I had $1 million and could do any hobby in the world I wanted to do, number one would be drag race, and number two would be build computers. I mean, it's fun. It's what I would do in my spare time for fun. So to be able to make a little bit of money on it would be great. I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting this all in, and I've got, oh man, every other room in the house is totally white, and I've got to do all that, so I'll be here probably a couple more days. But I thought I would go ahead and make a video and let you guys know what we've been up to and everything, and let you guys know we're still kicking. Also, my wife was thinking about maybe doing some like cooking videos and stuff like that. But I told her I didn't want her to flood my channel with all that kind of crap, because it does still make money, and I'm still getting new subscribers every, you know, 20 or 30 a day, and even without uploading any videos. So all my old videos are still relevant, I guess, and are still attracting new people. The issue with her putting those on there is I'm afraid that people that came to watch that stuff are not going to stay to watch like cooking stuff. But if enough of you guys say, yeah, go ahead and throw some, you know, cooking videos up on there with my wife and me in the kitchen just messing stuff up and making some good food. That's the thing about home cooking, is you can just throw some stuff together and boil it and not expect much out of it. It's the best tasting stuff ever. So, you know, let me know if you guys want to see some of that. And I guess that's it for now. See you guys next time.